Welcome to Dropping In, a podcast of storytelling and interviews with your host, Winter Olympian Mercedes Nickel.
Thank you so much for dropping in on episode 24. Now, winter is here, whether we want it or not, and a lot of us will probably be thinking of going out into the backcountry. So I have reached out to some of the experts. You've heard from a few of them. Today we have a new one to find out what they put in their pack. Let me introduce you to episode 24's guest that we will be dropping in with. She has a passion for the outdoor life. This will be her 17th season in the mountains. She's someone you can try to catch up to on a snowboard, but dang, she's fast, so you probably won't. She's very handy, and she just finished building from scratch her own home. She's filmed with Red Bull, TGR, Standard Films, Peep Show, and Runway, just to name a few. She's won the 2017 and 2018 Transworld Snowboarding Women's Video Part of the Year. Hello. She knows what's up in the backcountry. This backcountry snowboarder, daughter, mother to Stella, her dog, friend, surfer, snowboarder, home builder. She makes snowboarding look easy. Let's find out what's in Robin Van Gyn's pack.
Okay.
Robin Van Gyn, are you ready to drop in?
Already dropped in.
Okay, so we start with rapid fire 10 questions. You have not seen these.
Oh,
Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. You've shared on Instagram that you've been building a home. What was the hardest part of the build?
Sealing the windows.
Interesting. I know nothing about that.
Yeah, it's just a lot of this like crazy foam, but if you haven't used it before, you tend to it grows.
Oh, like the mono
foam. Yeah.
Get the mono.
No idea what you're singing, but it's a really nice song, and I like your voice.
Okay, I may have just dated myself.
It's like the stuff you put in windows, and you basically put the foam in the crack, right?
Yeah.
But then it expands, it expands a lot.
Okay.
And so I actually had to do it. I did it twice because I did way too much, and then I had to trim it, and then it was just coming out. It was just bad. And then I had to do it again. I forget why I had to do it again. Oh, because we hung the window the wrong way. So. Yeah, the windows.
They're hard.
The windows into it. Well, think about it. Okay, you cut a hole in a metal box. There's nothing for the windows to attach to.
Yeah.
You also have to build a frame. Anyway.
I mean,
hardest part.
I don't envy that job, but I love the outcome. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. We
really
love it.
Beautiful. Okay.
Thanks.
Number 2, you pretty much are in Whistler a lot. So Whistler or Blackcomb?
Oh, definitely Whistler.
I love that answer. It makes me so happy because I'm just a Whistler girl through and through. But I do ride Blackcomb. It is what it is.
Everybody's like, there's so much traversing on Whistler. I'm like, not if you know where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah. It just makes more sense. Anyways. Okay, number 3. Would you rather hike or take a chairlift?
I mean, depends on what you're hiking. Chairlift.
Okay. It's your choice. Chris,
it depends on what it is.
I know. Well, I don't know. It's just you're choosing a day. You're just choosing a day. Chairlift.
Any day. I'm definitely gonna take a chairlift up a mountain, other than
hiking.
Hiking up a mountain.
Okay. Number 4, surf, skate, or snow. If you could only choose one.
No, that's not fair.
That's a good answer.
You don't have to choose.
You don't. You're right.
I do not have to choose. That is not a realistic question. Next.
Number 5. Where's your favorite place to snowboard?
Ooh. I don't know. Different. It's like you want a different mountain for different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know? No place is perfect.
This is true.
I love Mount Baker on POW days.
Yeah.
I love Baldface in backcountry, like when I want to be mellow, and then when I want to get like, when I want to get spicy, I want to go to Alaska.
There we go. You're
So,
talking to the girl that grew up in Whistler and moved to California to snowboard. So
right.
don't worry.
I did always wonder. I'm like, you ride for Mammoth. It seems crazy. I don't know how that happened.
Well, nowhere's perfect, and it's cloudy here a
Nowhere's
lot.
perfect.
And
it is.
I knew what was up at that time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 6, heli or cat?
Ooh, split board.
Oh, this is a fun rapid fire. Okay, number 7. What's the first thing that you do to relax after a day's riding?
Stretch.
Yes, this is true. Number 8, how difficult was it to, I want to say, oh God, water ski, but it was snowboard ski.
Oh my gosh.
Water.
Actually,
Yeah.
so easy.
What?
Yeah.
Did you get it the first time?
So we dock started, right?
Yeah.
And I lost the Rochambeau, so I had to go first.
Yeah.
And I had a wetsuit, a life jacket.
Yeah.
And then all my stuff, because I was actually afraid that we were gonna sink,
Right.
I was like, oh, what if it doesn't float? But hit the gas. It was fine. The first time I went off, like landed on my board, started going, but we weren't going quite fast enough. So I just like bogged and went in.
Yeah.
But the second time I was just like, okay, go faster. And it was super easy. I was like, okay, how come nobody has done this?
I don't know.
And we went on the internet looking for people who were snowboarding behind a boat.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it. Now, I think if you actually had a bit of practice, you could really go for it.
And turning that was fine?
Turning's hard because there's no fin.
Copy that.
Right? So it's flat. So like turning, it was sketchy. It was like tried to do like a spray or a long rooster tail. It just doesn't really hold an edge.
Okay.
Or any sort of anything. So
Yes.
yeah, anytime we tried to do anything, we ended up swimming. But everything floats.
Wicked.
Snowboards, bindings, boots, they all float.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe don't try it at home, listeners.
Don't try it.
It's fun to watch.
It was actually like raining sideways, and then like clouds just parted, and we were like, let's do it.
Dude, wild. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was funny.
Number 9, would you choose a cliff drop or a POW line?
How about a cliff drop and a POW line?
You are just on point. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I like it. You're not wrong. You're totally not wrong.
Just creating my own answers. Like, oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
None of those things.
None of the above, all of the above. Next question. Number 10. Number 10. Okay. This is random. What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Yeah.
I love Christmas. Look, I have a tree.
Nice. Oh, that's gorgeous. Did you get that in the backyard?
I got it close to the backyard.
Very nice.
And then you can see my sewing machine.
Yeah.
We're sewing stockings.
Oh my gosh. You're like the freaking Santa's workshop right there.
I know. It's, I like to not work on the weekends and make an exception here because this doesn't really work for friends. And so I kind of fill my time with arts and crafts, and we've been snowboarding every day. So yeah.
That's nice. I got my first
Yesterday was tree day.
I had
really?
a smile like ear to ear with the whole face mask on. I was like, I swear I'm like the happiest person ever under here.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It was good. I was there for the first 2 weeks of Whistler Blackcomb opening.
Yeah. It
was good.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for doing the rapid fire. Now we're going to get serious, and we're going to figure out what you put in your pack when you go out on a day.
Okay.
So give us an idea of just like what's in there, man.
What's in there?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to give you a couple different scenarios because it really depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, I'll give you the first day. So let's say you're at the Mount Baker ski area and you want to hike out of bounds, or say Whistler Blackcomb, you want to hike out of bounds, but you don't need verts, you don't need a split board. It's pretty basic. So I think for that, I'll just turn my camera around here. I can't figure out how to do that. Here we go. Boom. Okay. So for that,
You crushed it.
you want to have a super light pack.
Yeah.
This pack is too big. You probably want 20 liters max. Okay.
Yeah.
And all you need for that is water. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Probe. Shovel.
Shovel head.
And snack. That's literally it.
What was that snack for the listeners that will not be able to see that?
Fatso peanut butter.
I saw you pull that out on like an Instagram story, or it was in one of your photos, and I was like, I didn't know those came in snack form.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
They don't.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
They don't.
Okay, so no, they don't. My sister, she's the founder of Fatso and owner, and all of her trade shows got canceled.
Okay.
And so these were all going to expire.
Oh.
And so I got them. I was like, can I have these? She's like, yeah. I was like, these will be perfect for my backcountry bag. So boom.
So no one
I'm
else
set
will
for the
ever
season.
get those, but maybe that'll be a new product.
Yeah.
Dang.
Maybe. I don't know. Couple other things that you do want are a tool and, of course, a knife.
Whoosh. That's a handy dandy knife there.
It's James brand. They're my fave. I'm kind of a knife girl.
Well,
which is weird, but
you do a lot of things.
I do all the things. So yeah, that's like a day pack.
A day pack off the hill.
Yeah, like if you like for instance, if you go up Mount Baker or Whistler and you plan on, riding inbounds a little bit, and then like, okay, it's looking pretty good, then you want to go out of bounds a little bit. This is all you need. You need just the essentials, and you don't want to be bringing more because you have access to the resort still, right? So
yeah.
So that's scenario number one.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So then we can move up to, let me see. Here I am again. It's my Christmas tree. Then we can go to touring. So touring's different. And it really depends on how far you're going to tour. But let's say you're going on a day tour. So you're just going to go up the Duffy for a day and then come back down to your car. You're not going too far. Maybe you'll summit, maybe you won't. Yeah. So again, backpack. I always take this 30-liter bag because it just like, I don't know, having a really tight bag, like stuffed full of stuff, it gets really annoying when things get wet.
Yeah.
So you just want a little bit more space. I love this bag. It's got pockets here. It's got pockets here. It's got a pocket here for like, goggles.
Yeah,
it
that's
also
nice
has
to
this
have,
like,
to keep those separate.
Yeah, it's also got this really nice radio thing.
Okay.
Where you can So when it's on your person, we'll just put it on. I'll show
you. We lost Robin.
I'm back.
There you are. So
I
yeah,
like it because
we did talk. I talked with Julianne Chapman, and one thing that we talked about in her pack, because she's a snowmobiler, was all her ways of communication. So is that just one of your ways of communication? Is this radio?
This is one, and comms are probably not the most important, but up there, top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
But I really like to have it accessible so that you can be in the middle of a line or, and you can talk easy, boom, like that.
Yeah.
That's
right by your breast,
important.
on top of your heart.
Yeah. So that's important. Okay.
Mhm.
That's a really important one. And the one thing we forgot in the first day is you need a beacon.
No. Yes.
First and foremost.
What kind of beacon do you use?
I have a Mammut.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember where it is.
That's okay. Like, that's okay.
Mm.
We know we need it. Everyone should have a beacon.
You gotta have it. You gotta have
And
it.
don't
And you
just
gotta have
have
a
it,
new one.
practice it.
Yeah. So if you have gone in the backcountry in the past and it's been a few years and you grab that old beacon, you want to go back, think again, because the technology has gotten a lot better. And
Yeah.
now most beacons have 3 antennas, which are way better. The technology is just awesome when we're talking about like accuracy and the availability to easily find multiple beacons. So that's really important. I would say that if you have an old beacon, time to upgrade.
Yeah.
And then once you've got that new beacon, learn it inside and out. So it doesn't mean that you go one time to the parking lot, you bury it and you search for it where you kind of know where it is.
Yeah.
You need to do, I would say every season I try to do 4 or 5 different kinds before I even go.
Yeah.
And then when I get out in the backcountry, we usually practice a little bit and we pretend that it's real. It's like, don't pretend like, oh, we're just searching. Yeah. Oh, I know where it is.
No. This
Pretend
is
that it's
like
real.
life or death. And
Yeah.
and you have your friends in your hands and they have you in their hands. So
Exactly.
it's definitely something to take serious. One thing that I didn't touch on in your intro is your snow science. How far are you in your snow science? Like, what courses have you taken?
Well,
are you a guide?
I've been a guide for a long time. I'm not like an ACMG guide, but
okay.
Yeah, I just finished my CAA 2.
Okay.
Which you would take, let's say your flow chart for learning would be let's say AVI 1.
Mm-hmm. Everyone should take that.
Everyone should take that. That's like very basic.
Mm-hmm.
And then Operations 1, which is, they actually call it CAA 1, so level 1. And that's more operation based. And then from there, you go get experience guiding in the field, working with clients, cat skiing, slipboarding with other guys. You get a mentor and you start logging all your days and you keep track of all your pits. Like I had 4 full guidebooks before I even applied.
Amazing.
And you do have to submit your guidebooks to apply for the CAA 2 program. But before you do that, you have to take advanced search and rescue. It's called the ABSAR course. It's awesome. If you're into the backcountry and you want to do more out there, I would suggest that it's a really, really great course for everybody. It's like really how to hone your skills in rescue, companion rescue, and also like big scenario rescue. So you could be on a AVSAR team, so a search and rescue team. And then you take intro to weather. So you learn a bit more about weather and how to interpret what's coming in, what's going on. So you really have a bigger, broader grasp of how the weather is affecting the snow and how that affects your ability to be in it. And then you go to CAA 2, which is a 3-module course. And it took me 3 years to complete. So module 1 is more classroom, module 2 is in the field, and mod 3 is mostly just an exam. So I finished that last year, and now I'm working on different certs. I'm going to apply for the ACMG program this year.
Wicked. It's so good for people to know how much studying actually goes into knowing what you're doing in the backcountry, and I respect you so much because I know how serious you take it, and it's awesome.
I do.
It's awesome.
I'm just trying to come home safe.
Yeah.
I'm simultaneously looking for my beacon.
You're gonna need it too.
I know, I'm like, dang, I just got to Glacier and I unpacked it, but I think it's in my bedroom somewhere. Anyway, get a good beacon.
Good beacon.
The Berry Vox Berry Box. Berry Box S is a great beacon.
Okay.
Tracker 2, classic beacon.
Mhm.
It's really, really user friendly. That would be for anybody who's starting out in the backcountry. I think either the Berry Box S,
Mhm.
which has a lot of advanced settings, so you can kind of set a baseline. It's very easy to use that one also. And then if you want to go into more advanced settings and learning more, that's a really good beacon. It's a bit more expensive, but the Tracker 2 is very easy to use. So really friendly for people who are brand new to backcountry or brand new to using a beacon and doing companion rescue.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people in the backcountry this season with
Yeah.
nice COVID times happening. It's
Yeah.
just,
I think the bigger picture there, though, is I think it's really great.
Mhm.
And I know it sounds really creepy. I think it's really great. But I do because I feel like people are learning how to be outside
Mhm.
a bit more. And when people are outside a bit more, they learn to respect nature a bit more and they start to care about it,
Yeah.
meaning climate change.
Respect it as well.
Yeah.
Like,
So I think the bigger picture there is like, let's be patient and help people learn how to go in the backcountry because really it's going to benefit all of us in the long run.
100%. That's why we're
Mhm.
telling them what's in your pack.
Yeah.
And it's actually perfect that you have a Christmas tree in the background because this will
Mm.
air on December 24th.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so we were going touring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touring, beacon, radio,
Beacon,
communication.
beacon shovel probe are the absolute base of any sort of backcountry travel, period.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to say that. I want to say beacon, shovel, probe, comms.
Yeah.
Communication, super important. If you get into an accident and you need backup, if you don't have it or have no ability to have it, you're in deep doo-doo.
True story.
So, yeah, I personally have one of these Garmin InReach.
Yeah, InReach. Chris has one of those too.
Really, you can, yeah. You can check the weather. You can use navigation. You can text your parents. You can text your boyfriend. You can text whoever you want.
Yeah.
It has GPS. It has emergency under here. It's got this like little thing you pull back in case of emergency.
Like a little, oh, right. A little like
Right?
bat button, some might
Yeah.
say.
And you can't just buy this. You got to have a subscription.
Right. Yeah.
So don't just buy this and be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And you have to charge it every time.
It's kind of
So-
like everything that's about to go in your backpack. You don't just buy it to have it. You need to actually practice.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Okay.
So, okay, so we're going touring. We got the big bag. Let's turn this thing around.
30 liters.
Well, yeah, I like 30 liters. You can go to 20 if you want to run a bit lighter.
Yeah.
I just like the space. I like having a little bit of space. So
Cool.
touring, boom, beacon shovel probe.
Yeah.
You got your Garmin, and let's put the probe on there. Okay, shovel. Same thing. You want water.
Hydration.
Okay, and you want a tool. Hello. You want one of these for sure.
Oh, that's the nifty headlamp.
Gotta have it because
Yeah.
you never know when you're going to be alpine starting or coming back in the dark. And if you don't
Mhm.
have it, you're going to be sorry.
Yeah.
So I put a mask in here because, these are the times. You just got to have it.
These are the times.
If you're in the backcountry with people who aren't in your bubble,
Yeah.
mask.
Mask
Even though
time.
I'd probably just wear something like this buff.
Like a buff. Yeah.
Like buff. Okay, so we're going touring. I always have a lot of these.
Oh, yeah.
Ski straps.
Ski straps. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I really like to do is I put it around my my probe, to keep it tight.
Yeah.
I don't love doing that, but sometimes I do. It depends on the bag. This bag has a really good probe holder, so I don't do it. But I never keep the probe in its bag because when you need it, it's not efficient. Yeah. So you just want to be able to easy access that.
Yeah.
But I do use these to put around my poles. So,
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. And they're so good for other things that anything that may come up.
yeah. Oh, you can tie anything to your bag, your jacket, anything.
Yeah.
Anything you find. So these
Very
are
nice.
black diamond carbon fiber poles.
Light poles.
Yeah, they're awesome. I'd say you don't have to go carbon fiber. A lot of people break these because if you're putting too much weight on your poles, they can snap. Carbon fiber tend to snap. But I also always put my poles with a ski strap.
Yeah.
There are a lot of like telescopic poles that you can get that aren't carbon fiber. I'd say if you're new to split boarding, you're probably going to be putting a lot of weight on your hands. So I would almost not go carbon fiber. I've broken 2 pairs of those. They're great if you know what you're doing. Let's say if you're starting out, you're putting a lot of weight on the poles. You don't want these. You want different ones.
Okay.
Again, the knife.
If you're just listening to this on the podcast, it's quite the reveal with the knife.
Gotta have the knife.
Thank you.
On top of the Garmin for comms, I always have a radio.
Yeah.
This goes in the top of my pack and it attaches to that mouthpiece. So that's important. Sunscreen, always gotta protect
Salt
the skin.
and stone.
Yes.
What's
what
up?
else? Lighter.
Yep.
Seems weird, but it always comes in handy, especially when you're burning TP. That's like actually one of my pet peeves when people just leave toilet paper. You're like, just
I
burn
wouldn't even take toilet paper personally.
Oh yeah, I know. You can be,
I've had
resourceful.
I've had to use some resources in the backcountry.
Yes. You can even use snow.
It's very
Yeah,
handy and
is.
refreshing at the same time.
Right? So to go along with your like tools, the things you may need. So here we got the tool, we got the lighter in case you need to burn some rope or TP or whatever. You got your knife.
Yeah.
And then I always have a little bit of duct tape. And so this is how I store it because you don't want to bring the whole roll.
So that's just wrapped around a pencil.
Yep. So it's still the same width. It's just keeping a pencil in your bag, which I use for recording data for my guidebook.
Is that a waterproof pencil?
It is, yeah. Well, I mean, it's lead.
With it would be like on the waterproof paper book.
Yeah, totally. So that is in here. Okay.
Oh,
so
what's in this?
This is
bag?
my snow science kit.
Snow science.
Yeah. So if I need to dig a pit, this is all the stuff you need. So I have a loop, and I usually put a shoestring around it so it fits on your neck.
So that's to look at the snow particles. It's like
crystals.
Oh my gosh. What is the word I'm looking for? Magnifying glass.
That's right.
Thank you.
It's called loop. It doesn't really work on the phone when I I put this around my neck when I'm doing a pit.
Cool.
Got my guidebook here. This is actually one that I had from a course, and
that paper is waterproof, correct?
Yep. It's called a Write in the Rain.
Yeah. I think that's so cool. I don't think many people know that.
They don't?
Well, I mean, if you're new to going in the backcountry, that there's waterproof paper because obviously it could be snowing when you're out there.
Yeah, I know you need to have waterproof paper.
Yeah.
It's called a Write in the Rain. It's important. I also have this guy, which is, this is where you kind of put all the crystals on to look at it. Okay. Yeah. And it's got all the descriptions at the bottom.
Cool.
Obviously you're going to see, and then this is a size, right? So this tells you, these little squares tell you what size it is. So
it's like on the back, black measuring little, like, is it metal?
Yep.
Yeah. So you would put the snow crystals on it and see what size they are. And
you kind of do one of these. So you put it into the snow and you lift it up slowly, like just a little bit, like, whoop. And then you tap it with your loop. Hold on, see if I can prop the phone up to do this. Hold on. So you got your screen here, and then you kind of tap it
to shuffle the snow particles away.
Yeah, to break them apart, and then you can look at them one by one.
Yeah, so cool.
So crystal screen, it's called.
Crystal screen with your loupe / magnifying glass.
With your loupe. And then always have a temperature gauge.
Okay, this, again, it looks like something you would put in a turkey.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Chris had this thing he put for in his water, and it looked like a turkey baster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's pretty warm in here.
It's 20.
It's 20 degrees. Oh, 19.8. Whatever.
There we go. Get that fire going.
Ripping. So you need that. And I usually have a little sheath for it too, so it doesn't get damaged, or you're not really supposed to touch it.
Okay. Well,
so
stop touching it.
And I always have like a thin pair of gloves, which I forgot to pull out, but like the underlayer gloves.
Yeah.
So you're always the thin gloves, because you're never supposed to do any of this stuff without wearing the gloves. It'll heat this up. You'll get wonky results.
Right.
That's tried and tested.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I've got a ruler, which I've been using this bag for a while, and it's been pretty annoying, the size, but for some reason I like it. So I've got a ruler to kind of help me build the pit.
Yeah.
And to kind of measure where the snow layers are, how deep they are.
How long does that ruler go? It's a fold out ruler.
Let's see. Should be 2 meters.
2 meters.
Yep.
Nice.
And that's pretty standard. And again, with a probe, it really depends on where you live, in what snowpack, and what kind of probe you will need. Because like on the coast, you kind of want to have like a 200 and up at the very least.
Okay.
There's 300 centimeters. So, yeah.
Cool.
That's
all the knowledge. You're just like full of knowledge. It's amazing. So special.
Well, the thing is you never can really know it all. So it's like you can pretend like you have knowledge, but really in the scheme of things, we know nothing.
We're always learning.
Yeah, we are. Another good thing you need to have is a saw.
Yes.
See if I can open this without.
And is this is different than the saw that may be in your shovel? I don't know if you have one in your shovel.
I have, I do. It really depends on what you need a saw for, but this one is not a saw that you would use for digging a pit. You can use it.
Yeah.
But they have these it's really hard to do things with one hand.
I know. You're doing a great job.
There's just on here. Hold on. Let's do this. There we go.
Nice.
So this one is more for like cutting trees, but you can cut a pit with it, but it's got to be 30 centimeters long to cut a pit.
Okay.
So this is not it.
Not 30 centimeters.
You can't do much with this, but they do have some some saws that come in here that are long enough.
Cool.
So, but usually I have like a G3 saw, and it actually doubles as a crystal screen. It's got all the things on it, so you can use it to cut your pit, and then also to do that.
Look at it.
But it's funny because this doesn't do like that saw, the other one that I was talking about. That one doesn't do the job. Like it won't really cut through a tree if you're making a heli landing, like an LZ or a PZ, where you sometimes need to cut little trees away.
Yeah.
To be able to get picked up or dropped off.
Right.
So that one doesn't really do the trick. This one will do the trick.
Okay.
So most guides will have like a big daddy saw.
Game on.
Yeah, game on saw. This one's a good one, but there's different saws out there.
Yeah.
Different saws for different things. And if I can figure out how to put this back together. Okay.
It's like you're in Kill Bill right now.
I know. I'm like, okay. Like, what am I doing? Okay. Anyway.
Wicked.
Moving on
to the next thing.
Moving on. So we went touring. Couple things that you will need still are sunglasses. Gotta have them. Protect the eyeballs.
Yes.
Coffee. Yes.
Imagine going snowblind in the backcountry. Oy.
Yeah, you can burn your eyeballs really easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coffee.
I always
Or you're a coffee drinker.
Oh, big time.
Okay. I can't drink coffee.
Why?
You don't want to see me on coffee. You've
I
seen
do
me
wanna
not on
see you on
coffee. And
I
people
wanna see
are
you on
like,
coffee.
you need to chill out.
Always have a couple of these to kind of keep you going.
And what are those?
It's just like an electrolyte tab.
Yeah.
Keep yourself hydrated and alert. That's a big one.
Awesome.
These three things, always good
So-
for a good hike.
So this would be
Toilet
some
paper.
toilet paper, 2 tampons. All the girls so far had said tampons and a hair elastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did
Always.
it was so funny. Aaron Hogue and Julianne were like, tampons great for making fires.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never tried to make a fire. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make a tampon fire.
Yeah, I had never said the word tampon so much as I did in Julianne's video. Because she's like, yeah, you just dip it in some gas and then you're good to go.
Oh my God, genius.
Fire.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would say one other thing I would pack in a split board bag is a ice axe.
An ice axe.
Usually you're trying to summit something, right?
Okay.
Not all the time, but sometimes. And if you need to and it gets hairy up top, which it always does,
Yeah.
ice axe.
Wild.
So
That's a full pack,
Yes.
mama.
yeah, but you know what? If you're efficient about it, it will fit in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
It does
poles will go
fit.
on the outside. Some things go on the outside and some things go in your jacket.
Yeah, it's personal preference with the poles. I put the poles on the outside.
Yeah. And what about like
but-
extra goggles and extra gloves?
Mm,
Not your jam?
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like it's overkill. I think if I usually just bring one pair of goggles, one pair of gloves,
Yeah.
unless I'm snowmobiling and I have space. But I like to travel light in the backcountry. I don't want tons of stuff.
Fair. Totally fair.
So, yeah,
Wicked.
so for snowmobiling, and I would always have a GoPro. I've got my head mount.
Yeah.
Just got it. And then for snowmobiling, again, you can bring so much more. So we do.
Yeah.
It's like that lunch. The lunch is so big. I've got like coffee, water, sandwich, soup, snacks, fruit.
What's your go-to snack up there?
I would say like trail mix.
Mhm.
Trail mix is a big one. I think I kind of like to stay away from a big heavy sandwich for the most part. Sometimes I have soup instead because
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes if I have a sandwich in the middle of the day, I get tired.
Me too.
So
I always think
don't do
whenever like
that.
even if I'm on the hill and everyone's like, let's go in for lunch, I'm like, well, then the day's
no.
over. It's over.
Yeah,
Let's get
it's
real.
over.
I'm going into a food
Yeah.
coma and I love snowboarding, but we're done here.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like a Go Macro bar. I love those.
Nice.
I really like Lara bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good
But
food.
I usually snowmobiling, I'll always have a couple boiled eggs because that's like easy on the go protein, fat, you know?
I love that you say that because Erin Hogue, she's like, I'm like, what's your like snack? And she's like, well, hard boiled eggs. And I was like, yeah, man, I was the kid that went to like school with egg salad sandwiches, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. They're like really
people
good
aren't
source
into
of
it.
protein. Yeah.
Some people
That's
are,
fine.
some people aren't. To each their own.
More eggs for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Okay, so snowmobiling, the one thing which is the upgrade is first aid gear.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that a good first aid kit doesn't need to be huge, but you just need to have the right things. You need to have gauze. You need to have a tensor bandage. You need to have 2 triangular bandages. You need a pencil. You need a notebook. So you can double your guidebook because if you're taking vitals, it's really important that you write those down because when your backup comes, they're going to want to know. if that person's getting better, if they're getting worse. And that's
Yeah.
a really important piece of information.
Yeah.
Sam splint
What's that?
must have just to
What's a Sam?
stabilize.
What's a Sam splint?
Okay, so a Sam splint is basically a thin piece of metal with foam on it.
Oh,
And so
right.
if you break your arm, you can mold it around your, like around it to kind of stabilize your limb.
Cool.
Stabilize your limb.
Yes.
It's always good to have a little bit of Advil, although usually that's for personal use. I don't really suggest giving any drugs to any other people because you can't know what their allergies are.
Yeah.
Especially if they've had a head injury.
None of us have ever had those.
Yeah, I actually haven't.
You haven't? Oh, good. Knock on that wood. Hey, yo, I'm knocking on all the wood.
Yeah.
I've had them
one
for you.
concussion before. I've had one concussion before.
Okay.
But it wasn't severe. It was
good.
mellow. But I know you've really struggled with that. Good. And also my really good friend Tora has really struggled with that. So
I know.
Yeah. So I'm glad you guys are still here
We're kicking
podcasts.
it. We are here. Awesome. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want everyone to know that needs to be in the pack?
Yeah. The snowmobile pack, you got to have crevasse rescue. First aid, crevasse rescue, bigger snacks. Crevasse rescue is Prussics, carabiners, locking, not locking, and rope.
Yeah. How long of a rope do you normally have in your sled?
30 meters.
Okay.
30 meters of rope, I think is good. And you don't need like a huge thick rope, but maybe just like, I don't know, a couple millimeters.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wicked. Yeah. So insightful, Robin. So what I do is now I kind of like do a takeaway, and obviously you went into it three different scenarios. Day trip off the hill, what you need in that pack. Day trip out in the backcountry, not on a hill, but like somewhere else that you decide to go. And then also if you're on a sled. And really the main things that you will probably mostly, hopefully always have in your pack are a beacon, a shovel, probe, and communication.
And food.
Ooh, I love good snacks.
Well, also survival.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing all of this information. Where can our listeners and watchers, viewers find you online?
They could just Google, but I recently did a piece with Travis Rice and Austin Sweeten, Blair Hobenicht at Stellar Heli called Pillow Talk.
Yes. And that link is in your Instagram.
It could be.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, there it is.
Good job. Good job.
I'm glad somebody's on it.
And what's your Instagram handle so people can find you?
At Robin Van Gyn, ROBINVANGYN. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for dropping in. I appreciate it. You're the best. Have a good evening.
Oh, you're the best. Okay. Bye, Mercedes.
Thanks so much for dropping in. You can find all the dropping in episodes on the Dean Blundell Network or on your preferred podcast network, where you can subscribe and not miss an episode.